What is the purpose of business? How can we do business for the highest and best, most glorious outcomes? Many people believe that the primary purpose of business is to stack up as much money as they can. And the tools for measuring money become the most common metrics of success. But a case study of the world's most successful businesses will show you that the financial metrics are necessary but not primary. They're helpful to have on your dashboard, but they are not in themselves a destination. The most successful organizations have a clear sense of direction. They thrive when they know they're on mission. That's because businesses exist to serve the needs of the world. Great businesses have a mission to do good for others. They recognize and seize on opportunity to do good for the world. Take two of the world's most successful businesses as an example. Henry Ford's original mission was to create affordable cars for the average American family, including those who make them. Apple's founding mission is to make a contribution to the world by making tools for the mind that advance humankind. These visions serve not just the needs of the world, but the needs of all stakeholders. This includes customers, of course, but also employees, investors, and suppliers. A truly missional organization takes care of employees, caring for their needs and investing in their well-being and development. Ford, for example, wanted to make sure that all who worked to build the cars they made could afford them. So he made sure wages were high enough for employees to buy those cars. Apple goes to great lengths to provide the best possible environment for people to work in. Great businesses also treat suppliers as well as they treat their customers. And they honor the promises and commitments made to investors. These can be financial commitments, commitments to accomplish organizational goals, or even to do good. So how do great businesses like these go about meeting the needs of the world? They do this by being strategic in deploying their greatest strengths and advantages. Great businesses strategically put the organization's strengths and advantages toward the needs of the world. Strengths and advantages can include inventions, discoveries, even patents, trademarks, and intellectual property. Of course, in most organizations, the greatest strengths are the individual and the collective talents of the people. Leading people well makes culture an advantage because the strength is in the team working together as a whole. Anything that can be deployed to serve your stakeholders and the world is a strength or a unique offering. Likewise, great businesses strategically utilize means and resources. Means and resources are things that are neutral and inanimate, but are utilized, extracted, or leveraged to further the mission. For example, money is a neutral means that can be used and maximized for the needs of the world. Means and resources can also include assets like land, buildings, natural resources, supplies, or even time. Deploying strengths and advantages, especially the aggregate strengths of all the people of the organization, along with fully utilizing the means available, is a big part of how businesses go from good to great. And the world's best businesses focus much more on what they're providing the world than what they're collecting for themselves. The focus is on output rather than intake. Their aim is not financial, rather it's what they are doing for people and how well they're doing it for them. Great organizations focus on gaining new customers, keeping highly satisfied customers, and having customers refer their friends and family. But how do we know if the business is not exploiting people for our gain versus truly helping them flourish? If our main metrics are to be human flourishing metrics, what are the right ones? What is the best definition of flourishing? This is where followers of Jesus have a distinct advantage, a perfect vantage point. Followers of Jesus know their highest and best purpose is to glorify God by putting everything toward one thing. Our hearts, minds, souls, strength, assets, relationships, everything toward one thing, the glory of God, which includes the service of people. We have a never-ending, eternal perspective with a clear roadmap to flourishing for all people. Our desire is for people to do well as we want for ourselves. We want all people to have an abundant life always and to join us in the kingdom of God forever. Jesus has built the world's largest organization and tells us exactly how to do this. Jesus may have been above metrics, but if we're going to measure outcomes, the metrics should align with God's highest purpose for business. Flourishing on earth means lives improving. Knowing Jesus means living forever. Witnessing Jesus means helping others live forever. Flourishing is people knowing and responding to Jesus and becoming part of his kingdom. Jesus says for us to seek first the kingdom of God, and all things will be added. This means we want his kingdom to come and his will be done on earth as it is in heaven. This informs our most strategic, purpose-filled questions like, what is the will of God for each strength, for each asset or resource? For each critical decision, how might God use this to help people flourish now and forever? If our missions and our metrics focus on these things, the needs of the world will be more and more met, and the people's needs will be met forever, fulfilling our purpose and glorifying our Creator. Strengths deployed, resources utilized, needs met now, needs met forever, overflowing forever. That's business on mission for the glory of God.